Today we're going to be installing an Iron Rock Offroad transfer case skid plate to an Iron Rock Offroad Rocklink crossmember. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see a little issue that I ran into and how to avoid it going forward. The way we're going to start it out is that there's two bolts, one on this side, one on this side. I went ahead and put them in to the mounting points here and here. These 2 points mount to the back of the cross member. I'm going to go ahead, put the plate up, stick these in, and then there's a slight trick to getting the bolts into the cross member, which I'll cover in the next cut. So these are the 2 bolts right here, 2 bolt holes, 2, and I'm going to go ahead and put the plate into those 2 holes. Okay. So what I've done was I hand tightened the front 2 nuts. And what it did was it leveled the plate out. And what I'm going to do is I put the jack underneath the plate, lift it up so that it mates the unibody. And when it comes to the kit comes with 2 nut strips. What you do is you mark your 2, insert your nut strip, so once you got your holes drilled for either your tapped threads, which I went with, or you can use the nut certs, which come with a kit, you're going to want to go ahead, put the plate back in place. You can use a jack to help you, and then tighten down to 25 to 30 foot-pounds. I'm a Loctite guy, so I'm going to go ahead and blue Loctite both these bolts so they don't shake loose. Now we got our transfer case skid plate on. Plenty of clearance between the lowest point and the plate. I can get my finger on there no problem. Got my 2 bolts over here threaded in instead of nut certed. And then we got the 2 bolts into the cross member. Pretty sturdy. I was having a problem with the clearance. I contacted Iron Rock. Iron Rock seemed to think it was the transfer case transmission mount. I assured them that it was a brand new mount, that it was only a few months old, it was intact, which it was. However, reading on the forums, a couple people said that there was an issue with some of the mounts, particularly the anchor mounts, that seemed to sit lower than the factory replacement mounts, which would cause the transfer case and transmission to sit lower off the cross member. It had an issue with the exhaust hitting the cross member for the long arms and couldn't figure out why. Well, I believe after the reading I found on the forums saying that the anchor mounts sit lower just because they're made different, I swapped in a polyurethane heavy-duty upgrade mount, and it seems to be sitting much higher. And so far with the dry fit, I have probably about 2 to 3 times more clearance between the transfer case and the skid pan than I originally had, which is why I'm going to go ahead with this install. Just something to keep in mind. Something to stay tuned for at the end of the video. You're going to see a unique issue that I ran into while installing the skid plate, and something that can tie into anybody installing I'm going to be installing an Iron Rock Offroad transfer case skid plate to an Iron Rock Offroad 3-link Rocklink transfer. Damn it. Today we're going to be installing an off-road